Was he in a dodgy place? Okay. Number one, his head's getting big because he's making more money than a local Filipino. Hungarian dude, lived in the gated community, got killed over complaining about firecrackers. Who go to Casino Country? Not my place. I know how things can get down and go crazy because... Hey everyone, so I am back. Pretty tired, had a very long day. Pretty much, what do we do today? I went to the dentist. Found out I need some implants, so it's gonna be some good money in the future. Ruby did her hair. I got a haircut. Had to go help my sister out because her car went somewhere. I wanted to finish out this video by just sharing my opinion on these two murders that happened. Or I mean, unfortunate murders or things that just happened in any part of the world. Brought up by Nandor Man, and I just want to give a quick synopsis on how I feel about this particular topic. Just how I feel on these two topics. And then hopefully nobody takes offense to it. If you do, it is what it is. I'm going to try my best not to be biased because, as you know, I am Filipino American. And, I do feel on both sides. And I think Nandor Man's main point was, because he did have some words with another subscriber here, just words of different perspectives, which is fine. That's what the world is good for, what YouTube is good for. But I'm just gonna say my piece. Take it how you want it. Comment down below how you feel about these two unfortunate murders that occurred. The first one I wanted to tackle was this gentleman that allegedly got killed just drinking a beer. Not drinking a beer. He didn't want to buy beer for some Filipino gentlemen, drinkers and stuff like that. Okay, so, and I believe Nandor Man's main point was, how can a foreigner learn from these things, to learn. That's what I feel that what Nandor Man really wanted to know my perspective on. Not so much mudslinging towards Filipinos or anything like that. I don't think so, but my point is, was he in a dodgy place and things like that, okay? Now, this is just me saying it from my perspective, okay? This is totally my perspective and how I would have handled it if I was in that situation. Let me just preface this going forward in both stories about how I would have handled it. And you can take it how you want to take it, but this is how once again, how I would have handled it. So, was he in a dodgy place, okay? Number one, I am not going to be drinking in public. I don't care how you want to take that or whatever. If you ever see me drink in public, it's going to be at a reputable restaurant with loads of people. Okay? Loads of people. You're not going to see me in a little corner, shacks, barangay little hangouts. It's not going to happen. It's just not. One, I know what my street value is in the small town I live in. That's number one. Number two, I know how things can get down and go crazy not because of who I am, is because of what I bring to the table, okay? By this I mean the way I move, the way I talk, the way I roll, the way I go to certain places. Even if I go with the most beat up motorcycle, most beat up car, people know already. People know already by my accent that I'm not from there. So if it's in a new setting, people are gonna try to test you. That's straight up. Now, you being in a dodgy place, the probability of things happening in for instance, Cafe Racer, it's probably more over a girl and it's young stuff. But the probability of things going down in a place where, let me just put it to you straight. If you go to a place where economically people there are on the lower of that situation there, things are going to go down. Mindsets are different. People in a zone where the majority of people are well off, as in like Cafe Racer. If you don't know, some of you Americans there who think you know who own the island, you don't know who the hell you're rubbing shoulders with in Cafe Racer, Lantau, and these clubs. Not TikTok. what's that club there down the road, babe? Tiki bar. You don't know, sometimes you don't know who you're rubbing shoulders with. You're rubbing shoulders with some of the innovators, pioneers, controllers there in Dumaguete. You just don't know. And those people, more than likely, and many of them are my friends, the owners, the patrons of these places, they're not going to certain places for a particular reason. They will be sought out as well for certain things, you know. So I don't know if you can read between the lines, because I don't want to upset no Filipinos. I don't want to upset any Americans. There's just certain places that I visit because I feel a bit safer. Okay, I am not going to be. If you're in Dumaguete, there's certain places I'm not even going to go. You're not ever going to see me past 6, 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Different mindset. Just totally different mindset. Okay, I did do a little bit of research. There were conflicting stories of him handing out the bar while his kid was outside and things like that. I don't really know the truth of this, but okay. Number one, if the kid is outside, you shouldn't be getting beer in the first place. If your kid is outside, that should never be the case. That's one. I don't know how true that is, but they shouldn't be done. Number two, what do I think caused it? It's certain mindsets. To Filipinos out there, please don't get upset or whatever. If you go to a drinking situation, barangays, fiestas, generally speaking, there are going to be breakouts of conflicts, whether they end up becoming full-on fights or just verbal exchanges. It's just going to happen because the mindset is different. The approach to life is different. You get a bit more fickle. A bit in certain places, you're probably fighting over girls, business dealings, and stuff like that. In the other place, it might be because you stole my chicken type thing. And I mean, me personally, I witnessed my brother and my family and I had an uncle try to stab my other uncle. It just happens. Certain mindsets, certain mentalities. Me personally, as I'm not a full-on foreigner, I am a Phil-am. You're just not going to see me in those places. This is not dodgy places. It's just not. For those of you guys who frequent Dumaguete, who go to Tocino country, not my place. If you guys are near Tocino country, late at night, 11, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, you know what goes down over there. You're not going to see me there. It's just not. Dodgy place. I know my street value when I'm in the Philippines. And you should too. Not to the point where your head is getting, or your ego is getting big. But just understand and be really fully aware of where you're at, when you're at. Pertaining to the truth of it, I believe he got stabbed, or he got shot. No, he got shot. This happened a few years ago. No, I don't know where it happened. It happened a few years ago. I mean, Filipinos in general are very prideful people. They do not like being embarrassed, right? The problem is, foreigners, usually just foreigners, Westerners, either coming from Europe or America, you have this sense of, I'm just going to speak my mind, yell at you, curse at you, F you, give you the middle finger, and because you guys do this in your home country, in America. You guys bang heads and butt heads all the time. Most guys here in America, black, white, Spanish, whatever, they go borderline about to fight, or just in their face. It's in the culture here. Look what happens when people play baseball. They're all up in their face, all in that. Filipinos rarely do this, especially regular Filipinos. If it does happen, it's going to come into blows, because Filipinos, for many, they can't handle embarrassment. Most people can't handle embarrassment. Filipinos, especially if you're dealing with it sucks. And this is my bloodline. I'm from the farm. My family's from the farm. I have families who are laborers that you cannot joke around, because if they take it too personal, they don't have thick skin like most Americans do, most Europeans do. It's going to be a problem. And maybe this is what happened, right? I don't know. I just wasn't there. Now, as much as it was wrong for that gentleman to shoot this guy, or it is very wrong, but once again, you're not going to see me in those places. You're just not. If you ever see me, Those places, it's just me driving by. Now, I don't care how pissed off you are. I don't care how bad your day was. You're making X amount of money on your pension, right? Your social, your 401, whatever, how it is. What's 40 pesos to you? What's and what strategy do you not think about? As in, I feel some type of way here. I feel a bit uncomfortable. Let me just buy these guys a beer and zip out of here. That's a very, what is that, a 50 peso solution? If I know guys, and this has happened to me in fiestas and stuff, I know guys are a bit tipsy or super drunk, and they say, Dong, palibre. Palibre means, oh, you'll hit me off with some stuff. 50 pesos, 500 pesos, a case of beer is nothing to me compared to a conflict. I just give it. Like, oh, yeah, take that. Take care. Goodbye. And say my goodbyes. Let them cool off or whatever, and I'm good to go. Now, once again, egos. Egos are going to be a very big thing I'm going to be mentioning even with the other topic. Egos. Your egos play a very important role in how things turn out. More in other countries that are not your countries because you don't know the culture, right? I have associates in my life that have went to prison because somebody threatened him, so he decided to kill the other guy. He went to prison for about 10 years and then got out. Just based on a verbal threat. Because he just said, I felt my life was in danger, so I had to act on it. This is the mindset for some people. The lower down the whatever societal totem pole, the more serious it gets. So, unfortunately, the lower you are in society standards down the totem pole, you put up with a lot of shit. And generally speaking, those people stay in their zone, and other sets of people stay in their zone. My neighborhood in Hempstead here, Hempstead, Long Island, where I used to live and grow up, you're not going to see any of those kids in the Garden City Golf Club. It just doesn't happen, and you know why that is, and I'm not going to say it. It's just there's a barrier of entry. That's a better word to say. It's a barrier of entry. Now, whether you like to admit that or not, understand this is how the world works. Okay, barrier of entry. Why do you have gated communities? Why do you have exclusive hospitals? Why do you have this is how the world is. It's just wherever, in whatever country you're in, it happens. Violence happens. Shit just happens. Now, what can you do to mitigate your involvement or potential involvement in these dodgy or crazy situations? And I'm not saying to be afraid or hide or just stay at home. No. If you got the money to afford it, go to the places that your money can buy. It's just like this. If you want to be a photographer, right? You want this camera is $2,000, but you only have $1,000. What do? Generally speaking, I would, or most people would, buy the best with what they have. Am I right? Am I wrong? Comment down below. Generally happens. This is how it is. So why would you then not take that into account when you go out? Right? Okay. There are certain places in Cervantes in Dumaguete that you will never see me in. Just because I've almost gone to conflicts around there. Quick story before I move into the next story. Driving my bike with my brother. Bunch of drunk kids. They're laborers. Maybe the guys who just pick up the sacks and move stuff. Laborers. They were drunk. That's why they were in the middle of the street. I almost hit them. I stopped because from hitting them, they start getting rowdy. They start clapping their hands like this. I grew up in the hood. I know what that signals. Something's about to pop off. Luckily, my friend was with me. He was packing, and he just reached back and he said, "How do you guys want to handle this situation?" They pulled off. They went back into the bar with their friends. Me and my brother on our bikes, and I'm about to get off my bike because I'm thinking something's about to go down. And my friend de-escalated by he pulled out his situation. Game over. Done deal. That really rarely happens in Cafe racer, college kids fighting over girls. It might be a shoving match because these kids understand Kiha. Kiha means lawsuits. They understand the concept of things that embarrassing their family, things that they have a lot to lose. You're going to a dodgy place where people have nothing to lose. What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to leave it at that for that particular story. Next one by Nandor Man, same one. Very great points. These are amazing points because maybe it can help some foreigners deal with certain situations. And I'm not saying it's just exclusive to the Philippines. This happens everywhere. This happens down the road from here. It's just certain things that you got to be smart about. It's pretty much it's what it is. Let's go into it. Hungarian dude lived in the gated community, got killed over complaining about firecrackers, right? And then he just wants to know how it should be dealt with or whatever. So I did my own research. I looked it up, like 2 or 3 various sources, and it goes down to the war of egos, both on the Filipino side and the American side. Keyword, gated community. Once again, money. They needed money to get in there. Not every single person can live in a gated community, to be honest with you. The gentleman was a seaman. Seamen's make decent money. Not maybe on or, they make decent money compared to a regular Filipino. So plus he lived in a gated community, so that means he has a degree of money to live there. So he was a seaman. His head's getting big because he's making more money than a local Filipino, right? The Hungarian man allegedly is a bodybuilder, so you know what that brings with meatheads. I hope he wasn't a meathead, but I read deeper into it and things like that. Now I could be totally wrong. I could not be getting the story right. I'm just looking at this as face value. So forgive me if I don't know all the details, but this is face value. Okay, don't judge me too hard. So you have a guy who's a seaman who's making decent money, lives in a gated community. You have a bodybuilder. He has money as well. He's living in a gated community. Might be renting, might be owning, whatever. Right? So they get into a conflict, and then somebody gets killed. Okay, so let's leave it there for now. Okay, now let me segue this into the law. Do you foreigners understand the laws when it comes to holidays in the Philippines? Every New Year's Eve, barangay fiestas, Filipinos are allowed to make as much noise as they want, pretty much. Firecrackers, pots and pans. I don't know. They want to beat their pigs until it makes crazy much of noise. I don't know. During holiday times, and personally, I have been through this because I threw a party in the building. Systems are in there. This thing is loud. The party carries over to like 3 a.m. Neighbors are complaining. They call the police on me and my brother. Police goes, it's New Year's Eve. What do you want to do? This is holiday time. So trust me when I say this. They put it to them when I was in a situation. So this Hungarian man should have understood the situation. Allegedly this was firecrackers, so they're lighting it up around holiday time. So you foreigners better understand that around holiday time it's popping off. All day it's popping off. And this is understood. Now, after holidays, then you can complain because it's not in the right place, not in the right situation. Right? Let's preface it. This is the holiday times. Okay? Now, understanding the consequences of starting the fight. Once again, foreigners, you guys who are into the road rage, getting into each other, it's like yelling at each other. It's like F you, what? It happens. Don't tell me it doesn't. It does. I'm not into yelling and screaming at people in the middle of the street. Some people are, and you can't bring that into a country you don't know nothing about because you might put yourself in a situation that you cannot handle. Don't brag and boast about this, and don't even come up out of your face thinking that you can just do that same gesture, same attitude, same approach to a country that you know nothing of. Maybe if you go to another westernized country who's very similar to yours, it can be done. You can yell at each other or whatever. I don't know. Philippines, it's just when my associates get into a situation, it's all about calming it down because it can escalate into something even worse than you foreigners can deal with. And trust me, it can escalate because I've been in a situation. I don't want to get too much into detail and stuff like that, but it can get into worse. I mean, feuds. That's why we try our best to de-escalate, because everybody knows somebody who knows somebody, and we don't want that feud in the situation, because it can become worse than any of you foreigners can deal with. Okay, and ask your wives, even on the lower end of the financial, social scale. Ask them how feuds can really break stuff down and really ruin it for a lot of people. Okay, on the Filipino side, Filipinos should be more respectful of their neighbors, because Filipinos sometimes just don't care. They're just loud and about. They take it to the max. Level up. I don't know what the hell they take it to 1,000. I don't know. The Filipinos should be a bit more respectful when it comes to that. They should be a bit more courteous. Especially, like the driving situation. Filipinos, you guys suck at that. You guys suck. Filipinos are one of the, maybe it's not Filipinos, maybe people living in the inner city, I don't know. Just stop driving like you're crazy and have no type of sense. And super passive aggressive driving. It's just, I don't get it. But Filipinos should be a bit more respectful to the situation at hand when it comes to even the firecrackers. So keep it at a decent time, and things like that. Don't be buying a freaking half stick of dynamite and blowing up in front of the house. It's in poor taste. That's all I'm saying. And foreigners, once again, just should understand how the holidays work. It's gonna pop off. You didn't go to the Philippines to live the life you lived in your home countries, right? Am I right? It could have been the beaches, it could have been the people, whatever. And that goes with the territory sometimes. It just does. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Move to the mountains. I don't know. I just don't know. It's really up to you. You have to leverage accessibility to amenities versus living by yourself like a hermit. Whatever. From what I did research, the foreigner went to the guard, complained about it, and the fight ensued by the foreigner. They're getting into a conflict, and he kicked the Filipino. Right after kicking the Filipino, once again, embarrassment. Somebody felt embarrassed. I think the Filipino took out a gun and shot him. Now, what do you say to that? Right? What do you say to that? Just two men, war of egos. Things go wrong, and bam, somebody's dead. Happens all the time here. You look at somebody too hard in New York, it's a fight. Like, should he have? This guy's a bodybuilder, right? Should he have? And I would venture to say he probably got in the guy's face, because they got into a verbal fight. It just escalated into a kick. Guy was packing. Now, what do you do with that? Understand the consequences in any situation. Filipino versus American, American versus American. Understand, you go into some roid rage. I'm sorry, maybe road rage. You don't know who you're messing with. You're into road rage. You get into somebody's face. You don't know the guy's packing heat right there in the side of his right in the side of his lap. You don't know what's happening. So what do? Somebody comes with fire, you come with ice. You have no choice, because you just don't know. It goes down to, what are you willing to lose to get into an altercation? In whatever country you're in, what are you literally leveraging to lose? Because every grown man knows that it might ensue into some fisticuffs. It might get physical. You know this going into an altercation. You prepare for this. You might not be trained like how I've trained for most of my life, because of sports and stuff like that and actual fighting. But you know this when things go down. This might entail you getting roughed up a little bit. So understand the consequences of what you are trying to do, what you are. Don't tell me that, oh my God, I didn't know where that punch came. He just sucker punched me. No. You are old enough to understand two men with egos, rich, poor, whatever, middle class, whatever, might come into fisticuffs. Am I right? Am I wrong? Comment down below. Because sometimes I don't like the fact that Philippine media focuses on foreigner murders. You're telling me Filipinos don't kill Filipinos at the same rate foreigners get killed? Probably even more. It just happens. It's like here in America, black on black crime. It's crazy over here. You know, I have a few friends die already. They didn't get killed by white people. They got killed by, it was a gang situation. So, it was in a neighborhood. I've been robbed. I've been jumped. It's a consequence. Like, what is the consequence of me walking to not my neighborhood and a group of guys in the corner, and I know how the flow of certain things in that area go? What is the consequence? Either one, they joke around, they fool around, they bash on me, or so let's say for instance they bash on me, whatever, chink, the gook, they call me some crazy ass names or whatever, Bruce Lee, chicken fried rice or whatever, and what do? I then have the choice of, do I just keep walking while they keep egging me on, keep my ego down, or do I say something? 1 versus 3, 1 versus 4, 1 versus 5. Do I say something and potentially face the onslaught of multiple guys beating me down? What would your choice be in that situation, right? Okay, so in the same setting, okay, my neighbor, who I'm probably not cool with, there must have been some underlying stuff going on with this. My neighbor who's a seaman, I'm the Hungarian guy. Firecrackers start blowing off, whatever. It's the holidays. I know, I personally know there's a law that they can do this and do that. What do? I make 2 choices. Either I complain to the guards about shutting this guy up, because you don't want to go straight to him, because there must have been an issue prior to that. The guards are probably like, sir, I'm so sorry. It's holiday times. It's allowed. Okay, so now this is still in the same choice. I then go to the guy. Shut up. Stop doing this. Your fireworks are annoying me. Stop. I get into whatever, shoving shoulders. I end up want to kick the guy. I get shot. Okay, that's one choice. Second choice is, same scenario. Firecrackers are blowing off. I see, oh man, it's December 31st or whatever. Or whatever holiday or fiesta or whatever. Oh, let me just shut the hell up and okay, fine. It's just it's part of the day. But tomorrow, January 1, January 2, then I can complain because I'm in the right. Which choice do you make? Because one, you're leveraging outside of your life. You're leveraging lawsuits. You're leveraging your stress. You're leveraging a lot of stuff, man. Unnecessary to me. Wouldn't have done it. I just wouldn't have done it. It's just too unnecessary. Do you realize on my piece of property in Baco, when the next door neighbor is going all off, fireworks, bad karaoke, whatever, just shut up. Because at the end of the day, I got insulated glass. Doors are closed. My gates are closed. I'm safe. Couple more hours, sleep for 8 hours, put the aircon on, play my own little music to muffle everything out. I'm good to go. I'll be straight with you. And once again, I don't want to make it seem as if I'm protecting the Filipino or not siding with the foreigner. This is something that I would have done. So I just want to close it out with, I don't think it's so much with culture. Compared to mindsets, right? Because, as I said before I close this out, if two degree well-off people get into an altercation, each, not even well-off, let's say middle-class people that have a lot to lose, generally speaking, don't take it to the extent of hurting each other, at least, face-to-face or one-to-one, because they're afraid of lawsuits. They're afraid of things that can take their life. So in Dumaguete, that's where there's a lot of hired hits. It just happens because you can hide it, whatever. Any murders or anything that happens violently, just do your due diligence on who's committing these crimes. It's either a personal vendetta, right? a personal vendetta, or just it's just the mindset of certain people. And like me personally, it's just you're just not gonna see me run up on somebody and punch him, or run up on somebody and argue with him and stuff like that, especially in public. I'm just afraid I'm gonna get sued, defamation. You're sued. I'm just afraid. I'm super big on being a liability. It's just that's just how I'm engineered. Hopefully you guys can learn from that, because understanding you might not be in business, but you are, once again, what I said, understanding your value in the situation, understanding what you're giving up in the situation, and as I said before, it might not be the culture, it might be your mindset or the other guy's mindset. Are you, once again, are you willing to bring fire with fire, or bring fire with ice, or bring ice to the fire? Totally up to you, right? Are you adding to the fire, or are you trying to extinguish the fire? Because I've seen too many situations where foreigners, it's more the young ones, have this sense of cockiness about them, right? Or even older ones who have this sense of, I own this country wouldn't be nothing without us type vibe. To a degree, tourism is very, very strong in the Philippines, but specifically talking about Dumaguete, do your research about Dumaguete. Trust me, they've had money before foreigners came to that island. Or, well, let's just say Spanish money's been running around there, Chinese money's been running around there. That's the truth. Yeah, tourism is strong. But you might say that there's a growing middle class in Dumaguete that's never been seen before, which is true to a great degree. But certain families have run that town for so many long. I'm talking about not in decades. I'm talking about centuries. And if you knew more, you would understand not to come out your face trying to act all cocky and stuff like that. Understand who you're around. Understand that who you're talking to. Just having mutual respect, and just carrying yourself in a way where it's acceptable, where people don't like, oh, he's just like any other foreigner who's just gonna think like he thinks he's all that. And I'm just telling you as a friend that these are some of the sentiments of people who are usually the farmer, the general laborer, and things like that. This is the mindset. I'm telling you right now. Like, and the worst of the worst is some of you guys who pick up these women. Some of you guys who pick up these women from the same background, a farming background, a laborer's background. Now, maybe most of the time uneducated and stuff like that. Some of you guys boost their ego so high they think they never came from that. I'll be honest with you. I might get a lot of thumbs down on this video, but I'm telling you the truth. You need to control that situation, because that can get you in trouble, especially if you're hanging out where they hang out. You're gonna put yourself in a situation that you might not be able to handle. I'm just saying you as a friend. My wife can tell you the truth on how we're living my life. Simple, humble, just keep to myself. If I gotta do business dealings, it's in a decent place, and I am very picky on who I choose to associate with, because I know my value, I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I can lose to the table that I want to bring it to, if that makes any sense to you. Once again, I hope this brought some value to you. I am not all upset. I just get very excited about topics like this, because it just sucks sometimes, even the Filipino media just focusing on these things. Like, yeah, foreigner died, but he's a human being. Human being died. Why can't it be man dies so and so, but whatever? You're sensationalizing the situation. People die all the time. Suicide, homicide. Well, I'll ask my wife a question before I end this video. So you guys know. Yeah. I'll give you a perspective of my wife on how a particular Filipina thinks. Just the mindset of a particular Filipina. Okay, you know to a degree what the type of status I have in Dumaguete, right? Do you see someone like me, or even if I was a foreigner, right? Like some of my foreigner friends, do you see someone like me hanging out in Casino Country?
No.
Why? Tell them why I wouldn't do it and why they shouldn't do it.
Well, first, Casino Country is mostly like.
And before you just be honest with them and
Yeah.
just be honest.
Yeah. Okay. I have to be honest. Mostly, the people go there like
Pause.
very
Pause. I'm just giving you a perspective of what a local Dumaguete girl, Bakong girl, Negros
Yeah.
girl, or Filipino girl, well educated, coming from is pretty stable economically. What is your point of view when people hang
Well,
out?
even me, I don't like to hang out to that place because I know most of the people who are there is like the Lucha. I'm not like what do you call that, graded or to these people. It's just people who go who always go there is like the troublemaker usually, like people like doing some drugs. Usually they hang out there, or people who are like cannot afford to drink somewhere, so they go there. And then those type of people don't have a good moral, like they just don't care if you
nothing to
bother
lose.
yeah, nothing to lose. So if you bother them, of course they're not gonna
Care.
move away. They're gonna like, oh, you want fight, I'll give you a fight.
What?
There are not, I didn't generalize everybody. It's just people don't have a they just don't care. They have nothing to lose. If you if you embarrass them, if you are make fun of them, because I know a lot of, especially like quote unquote foreigners going to a place like in Philippines. They said it's a third country, a third what do you call that, third world country. So you see the difference between rich and the poor. And usually this is based on my experience, right? I have a lot of foreigner friends.
Okay,
I have
let's stop.
Korean friends.
How long have you lived in the Philippines?
Yeah, of course. I have been living there for my entire life. Okay, so then there are people like, I didn't generalize everybody too, but there are people like, especially foreigners. They think they have a lot of money. They can manipulate people, like especially poor people. Like, oh, I give you money and then do this for me, or something like that. Like, or sometimes like disrespectful. There are like, yeah. I don't generalize everybody, but especially, here's the thing, especially old American people, they think old women's, Filipino women's, they think that when they say foreigners, even if old, they think like old Filipino woman like them. Like, oh, I can buy you a thing, I can buy you, yeah.
Yeah.
I experienced that. I have a lot of like suitors also that as that old, they're trying to like hang out with me. I said, no, you're older than my father. I'm like, you what topic we're gonna talk about, like, so like they think, American think that since we like, there's a lot of poor
yeah, there's a lot of
Filipino,
poor.
there's a lot of poor, so they think they can like, I don't know what the word is. This is what I this is just my idea, just my opinion. Like, they think you can buy the girls. Like they think like, oh, I
Oh,
have money.
they can buy
I
the
have
girl.
money.
They
Yeah.
can buy the girls,
I
but
have
not
money.
the high quality
It's
girls.
like, I have money. Come with me, because
Yeah.
I can make your life better. But for me, like
But-
that's very insulting.
But
like
it is, yeah.
it is like especially me. There's a lot of like American guys, because I live in Dumaguete, and then Dumaguete right now is like 30% American. So there are guys telling me like, come to me, I can buy you anything. I'm like, hey, I don't need your money. I can earn money. Okay, I can work. I work. So like there are Americans usually taking advantage, and sometimes you have to control that, because
No.
not it's like me. Not all women, not all ladies in the Philippines are like, just go because you have money. For me, it's very insulting, and I always don't like those type of Americans. Like, what do you think of me? You can buy me, like, because of you have money. You think I can go with you? Like, one time, okay, this is my based on my experience. This guy thinks that all Filipino women like American, okay, because they have money, quote unquote. They have money. So this guy told me, because I said no, I don't hang out like your age, because that's my own opinion. If I go hang out is going to my like the same age as mine, because we can't relate or something like that. Like, if you hang out just a friend, it's fine. But if you think that I'm gonna be your girl, don't think about that, because I'm not those type of girl. And you know what he said to me? He said, oh, you lose your opportunity. You came from the poor country. I'm like, excuse me? I know I came from the poor, but I work hard to earn money. I'm a very independent woman. I don't want anybody buy me food, okay? That's me. So I told the guy, I'm like, go to hell. Why you came in the Philippines anyway, or something like that. I was so pissed on that time. I was so mad on that time to that guy. And then he trying to come back, and then try to, like, say sorry. I'm like, no. Like, you are very disrespectful. I'm not gonna respect you at all. Well, Filipino, like me, we are very family oriented, and if you are talking to the older people, you have to respect. But that time, I know I cursed at him, because I don't
No.
like the way he said to me.
Now, do you think I was talking about the Filipinos' pride and doesn't want to get embarrassed? How strong do you think that is in the Philippines?
You cannot say that, like, for example, especially in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Because he knows me. When we're fighting, I told him, like, you cannot, like, say, like, anything in front of
Now,
everybody, even if
okay,
my
so
family.
pause there. What do you think will happen mixed with drinks, mixed with barkada, friends, and somebody embarrasses somebody? What do you think can happen?
Oh, that's a fight. That's a fight.
Yeah,
You
and-
cannot, like, like, for example, especially, I mean, I think not only in the Philippines, I think everywhere.
No, everywhere.
Like, if you
But
insult somebody, that means
No, but I think when you're coming from a place where you have nothing to lose, it's even
Yeah.
more.
yeah.
Like me, if I get into a fight because I'm afraid to get sued, what do? I have to walk away.
Walk away.
Because I know already what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Kiha, it's just
It's
kiha.
like a lawsuit or something.
It's a lawsuit. I'm not gonna lose that. Now, there's a guy that they say that a Filipino killed him because he didn't buy him beer. Now, I think a lot of that was because of embarrassment.
Or maybe he
Or
embarrassed
or
the guy.
or the Filipino was one of those types.
Or
that's
the
a bugoy.
Filipino is no. Maybe bugoy, like they
tough
want,
guy.
Yeah, tough guy or something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean.
No, actually, this is the thing. There is a when you go to that different country, I think every country, when you are a stranger, right, and you're dealing with the local people around
Yeah.
there, usually, because you are a stranger, for them it's like, oh, this guy, especially foreigner, it's a big time. So usually they ask like, oh, that's why there's a like American price or foreigner price.
There's an opportunity
Foreigner
for them.
price, because it's opportunity for them. But you have to understand, you are a stranger to that country, to that place, so you had to adapt. Like for example, this is just my advice. For example, if you don't want to deal to those type of people, just before you go to Philippines, just do more research, because I know for sure there are some places in Philippines that is like already not liberated, like it's already the foreigner it's adapt already, like
The culture.
yeah, like in Dumaguete there's a lot of foreigners already, so the local Filipino there understand that it's a tourist spot. So there's a lot of Filipino, so they need to like American. There's a lot of American there, so they need to adapt. Or yeah, so if you're going to the places like for example, some places in Philippines that it's not a lot of foreigner there, and you are trying to be a tough guy because you are you think you have money, you can get away with everything because you are a foreigner, because law in Philippines, they are very like, I don't know, for me it's not fair, but they are very in favor of foreigners, like especially if they're like for example, okay, for example, there's an accident, right? This isn't, it happens in real life. Accident, riding motorcycle, Filipino and foreigner. You know what's gonna happen first? The police, they gonna favor the foreigner, because you know why? Because they think that, oh, this guy, maybe he's gonna be my friend. Or yeah, so people there, they want to be, because you are a stranger there, you are new to that town or new to that place, people wants to be your friend. So what's gonna happen? It's not fair for the local Filipino. So yeah, sometimes like that's why the conflict starts.
So talking about like even if an accident happened, tell me why the foreigner gets brought to Silliman Medical, and then the local Filipino go to the community
because
college.
it's a mindset of Filipino that the foreigner have money, so foreigner get more treatment.
Now
Good treatment. Hold on. That's why that's why we have this foreigner price or American price. Like for example, when you ride a motorcycle, when you ride a bus, the bus fare is only $10. But if you are a foreigner, they're gonna charge you like 12, 15.
That's right.
But the thing is, the foreigner gets better service compared to the local Filipino.
That's not right.
That's not right also. So, but it's really hard to, at this time, it's really hard to to be fair right now. But as far as I know, in Dumaguete, since we have a lot of tourists, it's a retirement place. Like there's a lot of foreigners. Like it's starting to adapt. Like you cannot you cannot charge. There's a law, I think, you cannot charge a foreigner a high price.
But a lot of the people that's going to Dumaguete, they don't understand there's a lot of old money that's been in that island all the time.
That's why Dumaguete is like it's kind of, I don't know, I don't know other places in Philippines, but I feel like Dumaguete right now, it's because there's a old money there, and it's very like what do you call that, very that's why they called
City of Gentle People.
City of Gentle People, because from I think from because of I don't know, it was really trained, or it was really like very
it's been calm there for a long time.
Calm, yeah, very calm and very I don't know, like there's so much rules that people, most local Filipino there follows. So that's why.
Yeah, most of you don't understand Negros Island. Negros, I'm talking about Bacolod and Dumaguete, Negros Occidental, Oriental. they produce about like I think close to 90 or 93 or
Yeah.
even like 85% of the sugar in all of the Philippines. This is back in the 1700s when my great grandfather went there from Spain. So there's a lot of money. There's always been a lot of money there. So there's always been a certain flow over there. So I'm only talking about Dumaguete. Cebu, there's old money too.
Yeah.
There's some old money. There's where the Spanish were settled at. But either way, that's some real advice from a real Pinay. I didn't grow up in the Philippines. She grew up in the Philippines. I grew up here. But I would have to say, it's not. What do you agree with me? It's not more culture. It's more mindset.
Yeah, it's a mindset.
When hanging out in certain areas.
Yeah. Like if you don't want trouble, like that place is a trouble. It's easy to get in trouble, so don't go.
No, yeah.
Just don't go.
We know of instances where she saw my uncle get stabbed in the
Yeah.
face by my other uncle.
Because they were drinking.
He was drinking. Mindsets.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose. Didn't somebody within what's his family get his head chopped off? Remember in Mabinay? Somebody's head got chopped off.
Oh yeah.
Why? Because they were just joking with him. Like
This is the thing. There are Filipinos cannot take a joke.
Nope.
So don't make a joke. For them, especially you're a foreigner. For them,
You're just making fun of
it's
them.
like you're making fun of them.
Like, hey,
Especially in front of
you got
in front of everybody.
Yeah, you got a bad haircut. Oh no, But either way, take care. I can talk about this all day, and I don't want to because I don't want to bore you. I'm gonna chop this up tomorrow, release this. Thank you, Nandor man, for just setting off this topic, and hopefully you guys got some value out of that as far as how to conduct yourself in the Philippines. And I'm trying to give you as real as I can get, and then you guys take care. God bless. I'm about to go eat dinner, and then take this off real quick and bye.
Perfect.